Hi everyone, for today's book review we're going to be checking out The Steamboat Revolution, London's First Steamships by Tim Sherwood and published by Tempus. This book is a fascinating read and will appeal to anyone who's interested in social history, early industrial maritime history, and just wanting to read about how people adapted to new technology. This book looks at that very first generation in the 1830s of steamships that entered service, how they operated, what it was like to crew them, what it was like to operate and create schedules and revised operations for them, and passengers, what it was like to experience traveling on these vessels. This was the birth of a new age. The steam engine being married to a traditional wooden hull to create a new form of transport, or should we say a revised, even enhanced form of transport. Many of these ships still had auxiliary sails, were built as sailing ships had been built. And it was through time and through technological improvements, through improved legislation following certain unfortunate disasters, that steamships would begin to evolve. But this isn't looking at the evolution, this is looking at the very beginning, that very first generation. There are chapters regarding the introduction of steamship services across the British Isles, not just within London. We then look at the various aspects, what it was like to crew them, what it was like to be passengers, and all of this is interspersed with wonderful contemporary accounts of the people involved, writing letters, reminiscing about how it was to be involved in this. It's an easy read, it's very smoothly written in that it's aimed at a general audience. It's not aimed at academia, and it's certainly not a technical book. For those who are interested in more the technical evolution in regarding to nuts and bolts, history of steamships, look elsewhere. This is primarily a social history. It parallels early books done about the introduction of the railways, and again the first steam engines and what it was like for people to travel on carriages of steam engines. So this is a perfect companion, and for anyone at university studying the history of transport, studying new technologies, this is also a fantastic source for that. As you can see up here, it is illustrated with plenty of black and white, mainly contemporary illustrations. There aren't that many photos, as slightly predates the introduction of popular photography. Brunel's Great Britain is thought to be one of the earliest maritime photographs, not the earliest, but one of the earliest. And then we start to get more images from the 1850s and then 1860s onwards. But this is from the 1830s. The fascinating fact that I got from this book is that it was during this period that the position of where the captain would command a ship became known as the bridge. As we know, during the times of the sailing ship, the captain would be aft, next to the helm, next to the wheel. When paddle steamers entered service, the paddle boxes made the view from the stern of the ship not the most optimal, and so captains would then stand on paddle boxes so they can make sure that they had the best all-round view for maneuvering and steering their ships. And then it was decided, instead of having the captains or whoever climb up each paddle box as the ship was maneuvering, they would build a walkway across the paddle boxes, essentially a bridge between the two paddle boxes. And that is how we get the word bridge to symbolize the command structure of a ship, because the captain would stand on this gangway between the two paddle boxes, structurally a bridge, and command the ship. And that is utterly fascinating. It's an easy read. It's a valuable contribution to understanding the evolution of maritime history, and it is priceless from a social history perspective. For all of that, I give it 4 out of 5 captain's hats, and enthusiastically recommend that you hunt this book down, have a quick read of it, and add it to your maritime bookshelves, because it is utterly fascinating and interesting to understand this first generation and how people at the time reacted to the invention of this new vessel, the steamboat.